The following is a transcript between Matías De Stefano, referred to as me, and his higher self, referred to as I am, originally produced on April 1st, 2021, under the constellation of Aries in the mental week, examining through the crown chakra. Me. What is it that initiates the energy of the month of Aries? I am. That's right. Me. What? I am. Exactly. Me. I don't understand. What is it? I am. What you just said. What? Me. What did I say? I am. What? Me. What about what? I am. The question. The question what is what starts Aries. Me. Oh, I didn't understand. But why is it the question? I was considering that in Aries we would talk about more concrete issues, more related to will, action, impetus, war, battle of the ego. I am. You will have to wait for that. Remember, we have started our mental week, so we will go through the mental concepts of Aries. Me. And what are they? I am. The questions. Remember, we are not analyzing an Aries personality, but what brings us to the universal concept related to Aries. What is the most important key to this sign? Me. I don't know. I tend to relate it to negative things. I am. Why? Me. Because Aries always seems to me a very selfish, reactionary sign that uses its energy only for itself, an apathetic sign without emotion for the other nor consciousness of the other, only of what it feels or bothers itself. It is the direct example of the ego in the personality. Tantrums, tantrums, tantrums. Anger, unnecessary wars, pointless fighting, competition, and with enough energy to do only what they want. Then they get exhausted immediately, and if they're sleepy, it's all over. They will never think about the other. I don't know. I always had the image of an Aryan. First me and then me. You'd think that those are Leo attributes, but they're actually more Aries-like. I am. It is clear that for someone coming from an integrated Libra experience, Aries will be your challenge and will show you the worst of yourself. Me. What do you mean? I am. In astrology, the sign on your south node marks the history from which you come, and the north node indicates where you are going, what your challenge is in life. In your astrological plane of life, your south node is in Libra, which will make its opposite in the circle of Aries, whom you have in the north. This is why you surround yourself with Arians on many occasions to learn from Aries. Me. To learn from Aries, what? I am just that. What? With the Libran history, you have dedicated your past to decorate the lives of others, to seek justice, balance among all, earthly and divine justice. And this is what you already possess, as well as a self-doubt, constant indecision about what path to choose. In this life, you have the Libra attribute to fulfill your collective mission. But you must follow the north in Aries to discover your personal mission. Me. Which would be which one? I am. The I am. The mantra of this month, the attribute with which we will receive the Aryan blessing each day, is just the I am. Me. The task that we are all doing, the conscious self-reference, does it have its keys in Aries? I am. It does. For the mission is to return to self. In you, your north node speaks to you that personally in this life, you must learn to value yourself and not to doubt what you want in every moment. as well as to work on the idea that not everything you do has to be done for others or to make others feel happy. But the main task is to achieve your own well-being and happiness, and only from there can you collaborate with others. This is what Aries has as a fundamental attribute that you have not yet been able to tell me. Even though you have said it, what is the main attribute of Aries? Me. The main attribute. The beginning. Ah, the beginning. I am. Eureka, the beginning. And what do you call the path of self-knowledge? Me. An initiation. I am. So, Aries speaks of the initiation of things, the fundamental principle. The reason Aries seems to be complicated for you is that as a Leonine, your ego has no purpose beyond yourself, but rather your ego seeks the approval of the medium, and that turns its ego into the service of others. Unlike Virgo's service, in which the ego is hardly noticeable, in Leo, the ego is fundamental. However, expanded outward, when Aries contracts it inward, it does not give, but it receives, and it does not make much effort to receive it. It must only complain. Me, like a baby. I am. Well, it is a baby. Aries is the one who opens and initiates the stellar initiatory path, thus being the characterization of the child who is playing with life. Children have no cultural filter and act according to what they feel in each moment, and they do not care about anything else or anyone else. That childlike characteristic is what the adult Leo resents about Aries. Me. That's what leads to tantrums, to getting angry very fast, because when something takes them out of their comfort, they prefer to react and fight to take it back before looking for other ways to do it. I am. Your vision is Libran, and I'm sure you believe this view is the best because it's the one you know. However, Libra possesses doubt and patience in search of balance, slowness, something that destroys Aries, who wants it all already. But let's look at the positive part of starting this month. Childhood. Me. Back to being children. I am. To begin the path of life. The initiatory path begins every year before the constellation of Aries, a period that was celebrated with rituals and sacrifices of rams. The beginning was the spark, Aries, that reacts to ignite the fire, Leo, to produce the light and heat, Sagittarius. The divine spark is what initiates the soul to inhabit the body, experiencing reality. The spark of life is the power that arises from the energy of the body to move the soul and enrich the spirit. Both sparks are the pink and celestial flames that activate the engine of being, the Merkaba. This generates the beginning of things, the search, that moment when you consider things to take the impulse to launch yourself into the unknown and transform yourself with great intensity. Just like children, reckless, they begin to explore without limits, without measuring consequences in order to understand everything. They seek to complete their own being in order to have all the possible tools. Therefore, Aries is the self-referential child, me. That is why it represents the I am, because it is the single being that expands and returns to itself, generating conflict to learn how to solve them. But what does all of this have to do with the question, what? I am. Do you remember how to say what in the Atlantean language? Me, meh. That would be more of a particle that was used to initiate other kinds of questions. Meh would be what, but meayu would be what, referring to something more specific. Miam would be why. Meayut would be where, and so on, all of which could have the particle me at the beginning. I am. And do you remember what this particle used? Me. Meh is composed of the letter M, door, and E, truth, with the accented extension H in certain cases, which refers to the potentiality of something. So the question what refers to the door of truth. I am. And what is the key to the conceptual child of Aries in the week of the mind? What existed before all things? What contains within itself all possible answers? Me, the question. I am, that's right. The question is the origin, the beginning from which we all must begin life. The question is the key to finding the answers, and the child asks. Me, what, why, what for, when, where, how? Yes, a child asks incessantly, and sometimes to infinity, to points where parents and teachers can no longer find answers. I am. And the question began to dwindle as parents and teachers answer because yes or because no. The ability to question led to existence, evolution, and development. But there is a moment when people stop questioning to learn and start questioning to judge. It is the moment when the divine grace of Aries turns to the warlike harshness that many know. The way of life through judgment and war to defend one's personal stance is the result of a world that, instead of awakening Aries' greatest initiatory attribute, poisoned him with preconceived and predesigned answers that determined thinking, killing the dreams of children to turn them into thriving adults. This is where the child lost himself, leaving the question aside and beginning to follow orders like a soldier in war. Me, the ability to question is the grace of evolution, and we do not evolve because instead of the questioning to learn, we question to defend ourselves. We judge instead of opening ourselves to listen to other options. I understand now the mental vision of Aries. It is the beginning of things, and in the beginning is the question. I am. The question what and no have the same etymological origin from the Indo-European kow, K-W-O, a particle that serves to initiate the interrogation. In the crown, the interrogation is open to the spirit to understand existence. What is the key to consciousness, to wisdom? The question that gives rise to the search for all things. Me, which indicates that we have to go back to thinking like a child and start questioning everything again. Write down these questions in a notebook and answer yourself. What do you believe? What do you think? What do you see? What do you say? What do you feel? What do you seek? What are you? What do you do? What do you create? What do you have? What hurts you? What binds you? What holds you back? What do you express? What do you expand? What do you experience? What do you integrate? What do you transcend? What do you love? Me. The questions allow me to see my inner universe and to see the outer universe, to be aware of what is in me. I am. And by seeing what is in you, it allows you to ask yourself the question that transforms your life. Ask yourself, what do you expect of yourself? What do you want to see? What do you wish to do? What do you intend to live? What drives you? What do you want? What do you like? What do you feel? What do you do? What will you do? What will you say? What will you feel? And what will you manifest? Me. The answer will always refer to what, which is the idea of the mind, of the imagination. Like the question, what do you want to be when you grow up? And so the mind with the imagination can make sense of the question by completing the answer from the intentions of the mind. I am. The question is the spark of the mind that ignites the fire in response, to expand the light in the form of wisdom. Look at yourself, return to yourself, and ask the questions. Thus, you will discover the answers within you, and you will be able to open yourself to begin the path of life. Me. I begin, then, by my questions without judgment, the path to the discovery of myself and of no one else. And by banner and song, I carry in my voice, I am. I am, I am, me, I am.